I have no idea how that happened. There it is. We're here.
Oh, the sound is on now?
We were on the wrong scene. I just pressed the wrong
Hi.
button.
We're in the right scene now.
Now we're in the right scene.
But anyway, we were just talking about how we were working over New Year's.
Yes.
We didn't really take any days off.
No, there's no such thing. There's been this big conversation on online lately with a lot of like Republicans, MAGA people, conservatives, libertarians, and stuff fighting over how hard Americans work. Vivek Ramaswamy kind of sparked a firestorm in a discussion about whether or not Americans need to kind of get their work ethic upped, right?
Some people do.
I would think so, but I mean, it's like there were like some Republicans were like, "Oh, what? You want to work 80-hour weeks and all that kind of stuff?" And when I actually sat down and did the math, we pulled some 80-hour weeks.
Yeah, we do. I truly believe I now work harder than I did working at a hospital.
Yes.
I really do. Because now that we work at home, every hour has a possibility for work. Whereas when I was at my job in the hospital, once I go away from that computer at the hospital, I just pass my work along to someone else.
Yes.
I don't bring it home with me unless I was on call, which I was on call sometimes.
So there's a couple of different ways to look at this, right? So I'm reading the Wall Street Journal this morning, and it says the American worker is becoming more productive. U.S. workers are getting more done. That's great for the economy, though not always great for workers. But then there's also this discussion about quiet quitting and they working only 4 days a week, et cetera, et cetera. And it's the natural tension between employers and employees. And that's kind of like been the big fight.
I think it depends where you work. If you work at McDonald's, no, they are not working less. These people have to work constantly in order to get the orders out, or else people are going to complain. If you're in an office where the door is closed, oh, trust me. These people are on social media, doing their nails, eating snacks.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to see it myself when I worked at the hospital. People were having phone conversations, doing their own personal stuff on the job.
Yep. Quest fanning bomber was a big red zero ? Not sure what you mean.
Who's
there, but
this?
Thank you.
Bomber?
Quest. I'm not sure. I think he's talking about the Green Beret.
Oh.
John and Casey, good morning, AP and Steffi. Happy New Year. Thank you, John. John, congratulations on your YouTube monetization. Hope it lasts.
We tried to call you the other day to congratulate you.
He was with his family.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry we bothered you. We just,
oops.
like we said, we're always thinking about everybody.
Yeah, we're always thinking about you guys, right? We're always just kind of wondering how you guys are doing. And sometimes we call you and check up on you because, I don't know, we feel like, how do you build a healthy community? Well, you got to, build healthy relationships.
Well, I talked to Will Run Riot the other day. I don't know if he's in the chat.
I don't know if Will's
there. I talked to Cecilia the other day. Talked to someone named Erica. I've been talking to some of y'all, just checking up, seeing how you like things.
And we talked to Look It's Liz. We talked to Wes Fanning.
I talk to Look It's Liz quite often, yes.
Yeah. Have you called Kermode Bear? Have you spoken to Jonathan yet?
Oh, no.
Are you
I've
sure?
talked to Look It's Jonah.
Have you called all the coffee subscribers yet?
The coffee subscriber. Yes, I have.
Okay, I thought Kermode was a coffee subscriber, but maybe not.
I had to leave a voicemail for somebody.
So,
but,
it might have been him.
But that was a Nancy lady.
Oh, okay,
but
Nancy.
No.
All right, good to know.
I don't know, yeah.
Dad Bod Baboon. Good morning, Dad Bod.
If you want to call from me, say so in the chat. I will give you a call.
Well, we probably need to get their phone numbers, so probably better to text us if you want a phone call.
Yeah, if you want a phone call from us, just text us.
Yeah, we've decided to up our game this year and to start making phone calls to help grow the For Liberty Network, and Stephanie is point woman.
Yeah, because we're really trying to improve this year. We're trying to see where are our flaws, where are our strengths, what do people really want? Because honestly, at the end of the day, it's all about you guys.
Well, ask them this, Stephanie, and it's sitting right in front of you. Ask them if anyone who's watching us today would be glad to win a new bomber. Come on down. I'm your Bob Barker. You're my sexy little model. Oh,
I'm your Vanna.
You're my Vanna Red. A new car! Just kidding.
They have to guess the value of this.
There you go. Oh, no.
Guess how much it is.
No, because all they have to do is go to forlibertyshop.com and they'll know the answer. They'll all cheat. They're cheaters.
Okay, whoever gets closest to the dollar amount wins.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding.
Yes. Let us know. Let us know, guys, what here's the thing. We're going to do a giveaway today for the Doge Field Agent jacket. And if you want in on the giveaway, you've got to be a monthly subscriber.
And so that means subscriber on Twitter,
Facebook, anywhere.
YouTube,
Rumble.
wakeupamerica.show.com/support. That's the best place to support us.
Yes. So you guys can get those jackets at the shop if you just want to go ahead and get it. But if you guys want to be entered into the prize drawing, then you just need to be a monthly sub. Here's the good news. Rumble updated their software this week. It's just getting better and better.
Really? How so?
And well, soon I hear they're going to have shorts, like reels, which is going to be really good for us.
That'll be nice for you. You make a lot of those.
Yeah, we do. And finally, we won't be demonetized for uploading them. You know, it's like this stupid YouTube.
Yay.
That's good. But now they have gifted subscriptions over on Rumble. So like 2 people have been buying monthly subs for everybody in the chat.
Are you kidding me?
No. So there's so like you can see over in the chat, I think Quest and Kermode, they bought theirs. But every monthly subscriber is entered into our monthly prize drawings. So if you guys are monthly subs, even if you've been gifted a monthly sub, you're eligible. So we'll pick the winner today.
Nice. That's awesome. I remember when you used to be on Twitch and you could gift subs on Twitch.
Yeah, see, somebody's doing it right now. Entropy Nomad is in there.
They're gifting things right now?
This is Entropy Nomad right now in the chat. He's gifting subs. He gifted them to Jose MMA, T-Mill22, InJam77, Brandon
How does he
Meyer.
know who to give subs to? How can you...
I'm not sure. I think it gives you a list of people in the chat, and then you can either do it randomly, or you can kind of choose who you want to gift it to. So everybody got a monthly, like 5 people just got a monthly sub.
That is so cool. Thank you, Entropy.
So now all 5 of those people are now entered in to win the prize drawing today. So
you all must really want this jacket.
They do. It's a beautiful jacket. So anyways,
is.
And of course, if we hit $100 raised by the end of the show, which we're definitely on the way to, then we will get the bonus baby out.
Yes, she's getting so old that she actually can feed herself to go to sleep now.
Yes.
We just prop up a little blanket and her bottle sits there and then she just feeds herself.
Dad Bod Baboon is out there using all of the new emojis that he has access to because he got gifted a sub from Entropy Nomad.
Oh my gosh.
There's some awesome, it's some awesome little animated GIFs that I put in there, like skulls, nuclear weapons, airplanes, like attack airplanes. It's just so much fun. So I hope everybody enjoys it, and thank you to our friend Entropy Nomad for all of those gifts. Appreciate everybody for being thank you for being a friend.
Travel down the road and back again.
Yes, if 100 people
is true.
Go ahead.
I don't know the rest
Thank
of the
you
words.
for being a friend. Dun, dun, dun,
You're a
dun,
pal
dun.
and a confidant.
Yes. You know who's not our friend? Matthew Allen Livelsberger. He was
Oh my goodness.
the guy who blew himself up in front of Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. The details of this are so bizarre.
Yeah.
In July, Matthew Allen Livelsberger was posting to Facebook photos of himself proudly posing with his newborn child.
He has a baby?
He had a baby. He's dead now. He was in the middle of a highly decorated career in the U.S. military. 6 months later, the 37-year-old was dead and named as the man whose Tesla Cybertruck exploded on Wednesday outside the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas. After driving up and down Las Vegas Boulevard for an hour, Livelsberger pulled into the Trump Hotel, died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Yeah, right. According to authorities, who found the newly purchased handgun he used at his feet, along with a passport, military ID, credit cards, iPhone, and smartwatch. The body removed from the Cybertruck was burnt beyond recognition. They found out his identity from passports, and they were still examining whether or not he had any ties to terrorist networks. But, I mean, my dad was a Green Beret. I actually called my dad this morning before the show to see if I can get him on the show just to chat about it, because this is a question. You immediately were like PTSD, right?
Oh, well, if it really was a mental health issue. Well, originally what I said, I asked if he was a Manchurian candidate because, you know, I'm a conspiracy theorist. So I'm like, was he brainwashed to do this? But then my second thing was, because you said his life was basically perfect. Aside from just being in the military and having a divorce. So if you've got a perfect life, but you were in the military, and he was in Afghanistan, in other countries.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what goes on in Afghanistan is terrible. We've got some friends who are Marines, and they've been through really bad stuff in Afghanistan. So even if he didn't show, like the article says, oh, he wasn't showing like he was in distress. Mental health issues, they happen all inside of you. So sometimes you can just put a mask on your face and nobody will know.
Yeah, so I mean, I called Dad because I was like, it probably, he's 82. It's been a while since he's been in.
And he wasn't through any really traumatic events.
Right. He
didn't actually get deployed anywhere.
Right. They kept him stateside because they had already deployed his brother.
Yeah.
And his brother was in the shit. So they didn't deploy my dad because they didn't want to have two brothers potentially lost over there like that. It was like the Sullivan Rule was, have you ever heard of the Sullivan Rule?
No.
So this wasn't like the Sullivan Rule exactly, but it was just kind of like, it became sort of part of the popular culture of the military that I believe there were 4 Sullivan brothers. Let me double check it. And you know the movie Saving Private Ryan?
Oh yeah, we like that movie.
So that was based on this concept of the Sullivan Rule. It was a Supreme Court case in not the Sullivan Rule. What were the Sullivan brothers? I'm sorry if I got the name of that wrong, guys. The Sullivan brothers, and the Sullivan brothers were 5 brothers from Waterloo, Iowa. They served together on the light cruiser USS Juno. They were killed in action in the naval battle of Guadalcanal. All 5 brothers, and so the mother got all 5 of those brothers.
Oh my God! Imagine that.
Can you imagine losing all 5 of your sons on one boat? So the rule was to split them up, right?
Yeah.
Not necessarily to send them home, as is depicted in Saving Private Ryan. It's like, oh, they're going to take Saving Private Ryan home. But I believe that the argument. My grandmother wrote a letter to the colonel because they tried to kind of screw my dad to send him over to Vietnam, and he had no problem going, but he didn't want to get, his captain didn't like him, so he changed the time of his drill and didn't tell him, so he would be late, so he could give him a demerit so he could send him to Vietnam. So when my dad was like, I'm not gonna go to Vietnam on a bullshit technicality like that. The congressman stepped in and said, hey, that's not how we run our military. You've got to play by the rules. If you're gonna do a PT drill, then you've got to alert everybody and tell everybody, right? So they had no record that they had contacted him.
It's not like they had a Google Calendar back in those days. Exactly.
So they didn't deploy my dad, but they did deploy some Green Berets. And you know who's another Green Beret that you know? That's the state representative from Jefferson City?
No.
Dave Griffith.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes, Dave Griffith. He's Green Beret.
Ah, interesting.
But he got into the shit.
Oh, he did.
Dave Griffith got into the shit,
okay.
and he's very careful about what he talks about.
Really?
Oh yeah.
He seems like a really cheery man, and so again, it's like I don't know if he has PTSD, but if he did, I would have had no idea. So again, people hide things very, very well, especially with mental health. Yes,
they do hide things very well, this guy apparently hid them the best. Because nobody saw this coming from this guy. Livelsberger, they said no personal problems, top student, master sergeant, and no motive, no manifesto, and all at the same day that somebody else commits a terror attack in New Orleans, which they say is not connected. Like the other guy just is like, oh, I'm a member of ISIS.
And the fact that this Livelsberger guy was in Afghanistan, it makes me wonder, did he join their side after being at war with them? Because you were reading about how he would bring toys to the kids in Afghanistan.
Yeah, so that's how he got his Bronze Star. So when he was 21 years old, he organized fundraisers at his town and had people in his community send balls and games and and just things that children needed in Afghanistan. And for his service, he received a Bronze Star. He was on leave for a brief period, so he was still active duty, but he was just off. He had, while he was off, he rented a Tesla Cybertruck.
Oh, it was rented, so he didn't actually own it.
Correct. Yeah.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah, he rented a Tesla Cybertruck from this ride-sharing app or whatever it's called, Turo.
Okay.
And the weird thing is that the guy who rammed the truck in New Orleans also rented a vehicle from the ride-sharing app Turo, right? But they're not connected.
Oh, wow. Turo, nobody's going to want to rent from Turo anymore, because now I've got another conspiracy theory going where maybe these Turo cars have bombs built in them.
No. Well, here's my problem. The thing that I'm finding hard to believe in all this is that there were IEDs found in New Orleans. And the guy who, and now I'm reading that the guy in New Orleans, the Mohammed Durka al-Jihad, he acted alone, said the police.
Wow. So he must have placed all of the bombs unknowingly. Nobody knew about it.
Yeah. Nobody knew about the bombs that he placed, the IEDs.
Right. Where were they? I mean, how big are these things? Would they stand out like a sore thumb? Or could you just kind of hide it behind a chair?
And so, yeah, it depends. Yeah, I mean, bombs are easy to hide, right?
Okay.
You just have to disguise them like any kind of ordinary object. Happens all the time. It's a backpack, right? Somebody.
Oh, I see backpacks at the airport all the time.
Sitting around,
absolutely.
Right? You know, if you see something, say something. They say, but I mean, the fact is that this guy in New Orleans is completely unconnected to the guy in. They're both military.
They're both military. And again, that's why I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, is the military brainwashing people?
Dude, I get some weird...
to do this?
I get weird DMs from people who are like, they feel the same way that you do.
Yeah.
From like people in our government that are fairly high up will contact me and be like, Austin, this is weird, you know?
It is weird.
Yeah, yeah. But
it is weird. You don't see normal civilians doing this so much. You see a lot of military people doing this kind of stuff.
One thing about like most people who kind of study government, they don't really know. Not everybody knows. A lot of people do, and probably our audience is going to be like, I knew that, right? But I mean, you're probably smarter than the average bear. But most people don't know that like all members of our government aren't privy, especially even Congress, aren't privy to national security secrets. So like, even though we have elected representatives, there's a hierarchy within the elected representatives of who is allowed to have access to certain secrets.
Right.
Which is kind of wild if you think about it. You know, you kind of figure, oh, well, if you're elected representative, to some extent, you've earned the trust of the people, and therefore you should have access to some of the deeper, starkest secrets of our government. Not the case, right? And you have to you have to go through the hierarchy of Congress in order to be placed on committees where you would have access to the knowledge that you could make decisions, which is crazy, because it's like you have to vote on appropriations bills for spending bills for the military, and often it's like black budget. I mean, if you want to know,
they're like, we will spend this on not disclosed.
Exactly. And you just kind of, it's just like, trust me, bro, trust me, right? But I mean, it's kind of like, it does lead one to question, you know, how you feel about people who serve in the special forces. Because I was telling the story yesterday. You know, my dad, whenever he buys a gun, how there's a hold placed on him. It's because the government doesn't trust them. It's because the government sees them as serial killers, which
they have killed a lot of people.
What do you call somebody who kills lots of people, right? I mean, like, so where did I get this serial killer concept? Well, I didn't just make this up. I got this from people in the special forces themselves. Specifically, it was crazy. Before this ever happened, this video popped up on my timeline. Talk about coincidences. This video popped up on my timeline from this Jake Zweig character, and I've been watching his videos since that happened. Take a look. This is a former Navy SEAL talking about the sort of mental health aspect, or sort of like this is Jake Zweig talking about well, just we'll let you listen, and then we'll discuss.
The biggest shock that all my new guys have when they get in the SEAL teams, in the Ranger Bat, in damn Green Berets, is I try to explain to them they are going to be managing serial killer. And the first phone call I get, all of them have made the same phone call. Holy shit, Jake, you weren't lying. All my officers say the same thing. Man, shit. Because there's a level of fucking savagery, like people just don't understand the level of savagery that's going on right now in U.S. SOCOM.
Welcome back, folks.
They don't understand the level of savagery that's going on in U.S. SOCOM. So here he is. This is Jake Zweig, and he's actually responding to this other guy in the Special Forces, in the Green Berets, who was saying you should stop worshiping Special Forces influencers. So these are Special Forces people saying that we are not meant to be worshipped.
Jake Swig, United States Naval Academy graduate, University of Michigan MBA, 15-year Division I football coach, former Navy SEAL, former surface warfare officer, mentor to some of the world's best. Today, folks, we're addressing a short that I got running around saying that United States Navy SEALs are the closest thing to serial killers in America. We're going to dive into my man Nate's video from Valhalla VFT. He talks about it like a gem. I'm going to talk about a couple stories. I got his video on here to give us a little bit more background and credence so that you guys understand that your average Navy SEAL, your average Green Beret, your average Army Ranger is an absolute savage.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So if you're not ready for a hard truth, dark, sort of morose video, then this is not going to be for you, all right?
We're doing a reaction to a reaction to a reaction.
Exactly what the title and the thumbnail is about how soft veterans, soft soldiers, and really combat veterans in general are not role models. We are not some bastion of moral superiority that you should be idolizing as the American public.
I would make an argument that is exact opposite. We are trained to lie, cheat, and steal and win at all costs. Win with limited resources, build armies with groups of 12 people. None of this translates back to the civilian world of being a good person. There is a lot of stuff that happens in all of these special operation communities that I tell folks would crumble normal individuals. It will.
So these guys, they're trained to lie, cheat, and steal, which and kill, which of course doesn't really transfer back to the civilian world very well, right? So if all of your job skills are lying, cheating, stealing, and killing, then when you come back to the United States, what are you trained to do, right? What are you going to do for a job? Well, like, what are you experienced? Well, I can slice a guy's throat from 300 feet with a thrown dagger or something like that, you know?
See, the purpose of the military is supposed to be to defend us against threats. So let's say that a group of 10 people came to our door and they were trying to kill us, and we killed all of them. Would that make us serial killers? If groups of people kept coming to our door and we kept killing each and every one of them over and over. So the main purpose of military in my mind is to kill the bad guy. But I understand the military doesn't just kill bad guys anymore.
Well,
they kill good guys too.
I mean, the problem with the whole collateral damage question, though, is just simply like, when has there ever not been collateral damage in any war at all? Right?
Always.
I mean,
it's impossible to prevent everyone from getting hurt.
Right. It's impossible. And it's like, but there was a brief period of wars when in like the 1700s, early 1800s, when the armies would go out into the fields and typically, you know, there would not be much civilian casualties. There's like Roman wars, but the problem with going back to Roman times is that they would loot and pillage and rape and steal. Once the army, it used to be that a conquering army would loot and rape and pillage and steal. So the problem,
that's immoral. But hopefully we don't do that anymore.
Well,
hopefully we're not raping and stealing, and I guess we're stealing. We're probably stealing.
Yeah, I mean,
from those bad guys. I'm sure we steal the shekels off of their. Yeah, I'm sure we do. If they got coins in their pants, of course.
I like you're used to the word shekels in that context.
I'm thinking GTA, like in
Yeah.
a video game where you kill someone and then you're like, oh, let me take this stuff. And then you can like take all the things they have on top of their body.
I mean, if you're a true anarchist, then all wars are immoral at all times and are mass murder and completely wrong. If you're anything other than an anarchist, then you have to ask yourself, what is the utilitarian argument? You have to look at utilitarian arguments, not moral, philosophical, theoretical, rhetorical arguments on war. You have to ask yourself, when is it really a good idea to go to a war? If it's, some like Judge Napolitano would say, well, if it's a just war, if it's a defensive war, right? And then you'll say, okay, well, what was an example of a just war or a defensive war? And they'll say the American Revolution. And I'll say, okay, well, there was collateral damage in the American Revolution. So you're accepting collateral damage in this scenario, because here's the thing. The American Revolution was a war against Britain, but it was also a little bit of a civil war too. It was here on our own land. It was in our own country. Well, it was in, the East Coast, right? It was a battle of New York and Virginia and North Carolina and all that kind of shit, and the wilderness. But I mean, the American Revolution, we had to kill the loyalists.
Oh, yes, of course.
Our fellow Americans.
We did.
And we burned and looted and raped. The American Revolutionary patriots were not saints. They burned and looted and pillaged.
So do you think George Washington was a serial killer?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. I mean, that's what he was. He was a trained killer.
Yeah.
He was a trained killer. And so at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not saying George Washington authorized looting and raping and pillaging and all that kind of stuff, but it was like the laws and rules of warfare that we're familiar with, at least to this day, how treatment of prisoners of war and things like that. They're really sort of newish creations in terms of warfare. There have been laws of warfare, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that they've always been followed. Many times they haven't. And of course, throughout history, it was winner take all. It was do what thou wilt.
If anything, now in our current time, we're more moral than we were back in the day.
Yes.
But I think the difference between a serial killer and a not serial killer is a serial killer probably does not get PTSD when they kill a bunch of people. They actually probably get pleasure and enjoy thinking about these memories.
Well,
whereas a lot of these Green Beret guys who kill people, they have PTSD, they have flashbacks. They don't like the flashbacks, and they don't like the fact that they killed people. They feel bad about it.
Well,
serial killers don't feel bad about it.
So here's the thing. It's not just the killing of people, which is obviously huge and morally questionable, and it is tied up in all kinds of contradictions, right? But, through nationalistic fervor, right, you're convinced to go and to defend your country and to kill people, right? But there's the lying, the cheating, and the stealing, right? Which is another factor of this, when you have to understand that it's like you get a taste of how to operate with people in a way that is completely morally dubious here in the United States.
Yeah.
That you have to use to operate overseas. I mean, it's not just the ultimate act of killing someone. It's how do you get the resources to kill people? There's a big conspiracy theory, for example, from the 1980s, that the CIA laundered cocaine money in order to fund was it the Nicaraguan? It wasn't Iran-Contra. Somebody catch me up on my 1980s Ronald Reagan conspiracy theory. But
maybe the government should sell drugs to get military funding.
Well, that's the theory.
There you go.
That's the theory. So the idea was that in order to finance the Nicaragua, please forgive me if I've got this a little mixed up, the Nicaraguan Contras, to fight against the communists, they needed money, and they didn't have enough in like what they call the black budget to do the black ops that the military engages in all the time and has done since forever. Then they put crack cocaine out on the streets, and they sold it to black people and got black people addicted to crack, and used the money that they got to finance the. That's the argument. The argument is that George H.W. Bush, when he was the head of the CIA, was involved in the sale of, or the trade, or at least like profiting from the illicit trade of cocaine. Maybe not selling it directly themselves, but through inaction and through some accounting, were able to finance this this Nicaragua situation. So.
Yes. You know, the thing about people nowadays is I've learned not to trust anybody. I don't trust anybody but myself. And even myself, I don't 100% trust. Because I even do things where I'm like, oh, I'm surprised that I did that. So I think just us being human, we're naturally flawed. And people just, our brains have all sort of weird things going on in them. And we end up doing weird things. Maybe he had a brain tumor. Maybe that's what made him do all this stuff. Maybe he had some sort of medical problem.
Some kind of a lobotomy situation.
Right, dementia. Maybe he had, well, no, he's 37, but maybe he had early onset dementia.
I mean,
I don't know.
His wife had just left him apparently, so he was going through a divorce, and that would
make somebody have a nervous breakdown.
Right, but while we're endlessly conspiracy theorizing about this, when the police say that he killed himself, okay?
Yeah.
So you know, if the police are wrong, the Tesla Cybertruck can drive itself, right? So if we have to go on the Las Vegas police's word that he self-deleted in that Cybertruck and then somehow ignited the bomb, probably through a timer, and then that's the story. He was just crazy. And
Doesn't Elon say that there's actually video footage inside of every vehicle? So like, can't they see a video of what was going on in the car?
Yes.
So that'll be interesting.
Unless he had it covered up. Unless he had like a rubber ducky on it or something. And which is probably this is a good time for us to talk about our rubber duckies.
So we have a new Ducky Nation collection. Have you ever heard of Jeep ducking before? So we've been talking about Jeep ducking a lot in our house. So it's where when one Jeep owner puts a rubber duck on another Jeep owner's car, or Jeep, to show solidarity. So we've really gotten interested in this concept, and so we decided to make a whole merch line dedicated to rubber duckies. And they are tactical rubber duckies and founding father rubber duckies. So come on over to forlibertyshop.com and go to Ducky Nation. That's our collection. And we have a lot of duck stuff, including duck car mats. Can they see all this stuff?
It's pulled up. See down there?
Great.
See down there? They can see it.
Wonderful. Yeah, so if you know somebody who likes ducks, who likes to take baths, who has a Jeep, please tell them about forlibertyshop.com.
Tell everybody about our new marketing idea of what we want to do with it, like what we're going to try and do to get the word out a little bit more in the real world. Not that you guys aren't the real world to us, but I mean we're thinking of
off
some
the
new
interweb.
Right.
We're trying to go out into parking lots and freak people out.
No.
So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to find some real, actual tactical rubber duckies. So rubber duckies that are hopefully holding guns. And we want to get those, and then either we can attach a piece of paper on it. That's what these Jeep ducking people do, is they attach a message on the duck, and it just says something like, oh, yay, high five, you own a Jeep. So we can either do that, or we can actually put our messaging on the bottom of the duck. And this is all meant to advertise and promote our shop and have the people look at our duck and be like, oh my gosh, what is this? This is so weird. And then it'll tell them, go to forlibertyshop.com. And then hopefully they will actually place an order on our website. So you got to spend money to make money, folks.
Yeah, it's true. We got to spend. That's called marketing, right? So we think that we can maybe get a little bit of word of mouth going if people were to find our ducks on their cars and maybe put a QR code on there that would take them to the Ducky Nation collection.
Because here's the thing. We know that our niche is really so big. We know libertarians do not rule the world. And so we have to find people that may not be completely libertarian, but they might like the things that we sell. And so Jeep owners, they might like tactical rubber duckies.
Brandon Meyer says, is there a duck around and find out one yet? That's a good idea.
Isn't there something like that? No, I guess it's not duck around and find out, but there's ones that are very similar to that. So just check it out.
If you see Brad Beckman in the chat, he's the ducky man these days. So
he is so passionate about this whole duck thing.
Just let Brad know that you're looking for a duck around and find out what do you want, shirts or car mats. We also do, what do we have? We have car seats.
Car seat covers. We're trying to find a good maker for those. So yes, we're in the works.
Look, Liz says it's a waste of money. Well, maybe to you, Liz.
What's a waste of money? Buying ducks?
Duckies.
Okay. Well, what do you think here in the chat? How do you guys think we should advertise? What do you think would be the most effective? Because we pretty much are trying everything. We're trying email, text, social media, every social media platform that we're not kicked out of. So we can't do TikTok. We are trying phone calls. I'm calling people personally. I mean, I don't know what else we can do other than go out into the community. I mean, maybe I should just like put a stand up in front of a grocery store and like sell Girl Scout cookies and advertise our shop that way.
Yeah. No, I think it'll be a good idea to maybe if we don't buy like rubber ducks themselves and put them on people's Jeeps is if we just do like a business card that has a rubber duck on it, says nice duck and ride, and then our QR code to our thing. And then we don't have to spend a whole bunch of money on rubber ducks, which, I mean, the rubber ducks, I think, would get more attention,
Rubber ducks are literally less than $1. At least I've seen ones that are not super expensive.
Yeah, but like, here's the thing. If you really want to wow people, you really have to do something special. See, for me, it's kind of like, if you're going to do something, do it right, or don't do it at all, right? We need to find a rubber duck with an AR-15 or some, they do exist, but can we customize them is really the question. So maybe what we can do is we can get the rubber duckies with the AR-15s and then just get like a sticker to put on the bottom of it.
Yeah, the thing about that is, what if we put those on a Jeep where the person is anti-gun? Because there's a lot of leftists that drive Jeeps. So I'm wondering if we need to make it more of like a founding father duck, because founding fathers bring people in more.
I feel as if like
friendly.
The pool of people who I think we're limiting ourselves there even more, because like we're founding father freaks and we sell founding flavors coffee, and it's a good niche for us and it does well. We probably need to try and think of more people like guns and know who James Madison is. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh, and we should also tell people that we have redesigned our tea collection for Liberty. So we yesterday introduced all of the design artwork on our tea bags. They are all eagle themed. And so you can now pick up a bag of tea. Yes, we have chai, English breakfast tea, Earl Grey, hibiscus.
No. You got to introduce them by their real names.
I don't know their real names by heart.
Well, let's start with the Boston Harbor Black, which is.
So this is tea you do not want to throw in the harbor. I was actually looking up the tea that was thrown in Boston Harbor. And there was black tea.
Yeah, that's why this is called Boston Harbor Black.
You're so smart.
I know.
You're so smart. There was also green tea in the harbor too, I believe. There was like over several millions of dollars worth of tea in the harbor.
Oh yeah,
That's amazing.
It was a huge loss.
Yes.
It was a huge loss. So we have the Boston Harbor Black, and we have Gray's Revolt for Liberty, which I think is kind of a cool one.
Gray was a real founding father. Look him up.
Sure.
See, I'm doing the lying thing.
I know. Mango Manifesto, which is another really good one. Colonial Chai.
I like chai. I'm definitely a chai fan. I love putting milk in my tea. I'm very British in terms of how I drink my tea.
Royal milk tea. That's very Japanese.
Yes. Well, I love royal milk tea, but the British people are the ones that first put milk in their tea, as far as I'm concerned.
Eagle's Orchard for Liberty.
We like that one. That's Brad's favorite one, too.
Peach Republic, another clever little name there. Jasmine Rising, the jasmine tea there. Yes, we got all of our new packaging. Heritage Hibiscus, and finally we've got Eagle's Orchard. We already saw that one.
That's so pretty. I'm an herbal fan myself because caffeine just makes me a little bit on edge and restless. I think the other night after I drank our black tea, I couldn't fall asleep. I kept moving my legs.
Yes. So thanks for everything that you guys have done for supporting the For Liberty Network. We're really excited about what's going to happen this year. And we think that, the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, is really going to have the wind at our backs. We're going to give away this DOGE bomber jacket today on the show. So if you have a little red block after your name, then you are considered to be entered into the prize drawing. But some of you might also be monthly subscribers over at wakeupamerica.com/support. And if you are, then you're also entered in. Anybody who is a monthly sub to us anywhere is entered into our prize drawing today to win the Doge jacket.
Nice.
How much have we raised today on the Wake Up America show? We'll have to take a look to see if
Are
we've
you
helped to
including the
unlock the bonus
subscription
baby.
gifts?
Yes,
Okay.
those count. Those count. So let me see if I can see the donations. 7, and I guess I can't actually see the donations.
Oh, no.
That's okay. Dad says, "Sorry, I guess I was asleep." You know what we're gonna do? Let's finish this conversation off with Green Berets with my dad. What do you say?
He's gonna do it?
Yeah, he's gonna. I'll call him.
Oh.
I'll get him on. We'll talk to him a little bit about like kind of the mentality of a Green Beret. You know, it's a lot different. Things a lot different from the 1960s and 1970s from
Yeah.
today. We'll see if maybe that has anything to do with it. We'll be right back on the Wake Up America show on the 4 Liberty Network.
Are you tired of the strange radioactive effects of leftist culture? Do you ever wonder what happened to good old-fashioned American values? Well, fear no more, because there's a new force fighting back against the cultural rot of today. Introducing Culturama, a right-of-center talk show that's taking back the future today. Hosted by none other than blonde bombshell herself, Daniela Pensack. She's not just talking, she's taking culture back. With sharp takes, brilliant guests, and a few surprises along the way. Tune in to the live video podcast twice a week, because the future doesn't have to be weird. It can be Culturama.
If there wasn't going to be something...
Good morning, rise in freedom. I'm Austin Peterson. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show on the 4 Liberty Network. Thanks for sticking around through that commercial break. Stephanie Peterson's in the house.
Hello.
And baby Peterson, she's over there too, isn't she, little Hazel?
I think so.
Yes.
Nobody snatched her yet.
Nobody snatched the little baby. We're so glad that she sleeps through the show, but we will wake her up if we hit our bonus baby by the end of the show.
That's
We're
right.
on the way. I think it's like $35 to $45. So if we get to $100 by the end of the show, then baby Hazel makes her appearance. Great. So Special Forces, Green Berets. There's a Green Beret that hangs on the wall of our house in a shadow box.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful glass shadow box. It's got my father's Green Beret in it. De Oppresso Liber, to liberate the oppressed. That's what they stand for. My father, he went to jump school. He competed with dozens of other guys, and it was like him and one other guy were the only guys who made it. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. You know what? We could solve this problem. Let's get Papa Peterson on the line right now. He's here with us. Good morning, Dad. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning.
Hi, Papa Peterson.
Good morning, Steph. How you doing?
Good.
Doing good. Thanks for answering the phone, Dad. I know it's early, and I'm sorry to kind of spring this on you at the last minute, but I mean, you know, how many other Green Berets do people know? If I can't call my dad the Green Beret to talk about a Green Beret, then, you know, what am I doing? So,
Well, we're supposed to be the 1 in 100, you know, so we'll see.
so you graduated, what, jump school, was it 69?
I think it was 68 or 69, maybe 67 even. Yeah. I remember going, I think there's 6 or 7 of us went down and to jump school, because you have to be jumped. You got to be jumped to be a Green Beret, you know, you have to be a paratrooper. And I'll just never forget, you know, I was in the inspection lines, you know, and all of a sudden all the guys I went with, one after another, they started dropping out because they couldn't make it, you know, and there I was, and then it all ended up with me, you know, and I called my dad. He worked at TWA at the time. I said, Dad, I don't have any way to get home. He said, oh, I'll send you a ticket. So he sent me a ticket, and I remember sitting in the Atlanta airport and with another Green Beret, and he had his boots completely blown off of his feet in Vietnam, and he'd been in the hospital for I don't know how many months, and we sat there all night and visited, had a great visit. I'll never forget that. And then the next morning I came on home, so I've never forgotten sitting there all night with that guy. But I remember I was all alone. I had to come home by myself because all the other guys that I went with couldn't make it, you know, they flunked out.
Yeah, you got to have something special. You got to be a cut above. John F. Kennedy created the Green Berets to deal with the types of insurgencies that were necessary to fight the battles that were happening during the Cold War, because they thought that in order to prevent the spread of communism, that the United States had to be engage in a little bit more skullduggery. And you guys are kind of like recon. You're supposed to sort of stir up and train the militants that would work to overthrow the local government. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's what people don't understand about the Green Berets a lot too. They're actually to train insurgents, and so that's what. Yeah, but actually you had to fight too, and and all that. But you always you was able to jump into areas that were not secure to train the insurgents. That's what really a lot of Green Berets were for.
Sure. Now, a lot has changed, obviously, since the Vietnam era until today. The conflicts of today, though, still bear some interesting lessons to be learned, because in Afghanistan, for example, where the guy who blew himself up in the Tesla Cybertruck he served, he was fighting an insurgency, and in Vietnam, very similar, fighting an insurgency type of a battle, right? But this guy, he was, I don't know if you heard, Dad, but he was a recipient of a Bronze Star for his meritorious service in Afghanistan. Had everything going for him, except it seemed that his wife had left him recently. And he was a Green Beret. And, the police are saying that he shot himself, but the Tesla Cybertruck does drive itself. So, I mean, the possibility is that, he could have shot himself somewhere else, and then the car drove itself to the Trump Tower and it blew up. But what we're really trying to figure out, Dad, and maybe you can help us understand, is we were playing a clip earlier from another Green Beret who had a YouTube channel who was talking about why you shouldn't admire special forces guys. And he was saying that they're serial killers, right? That they're taught to lie, cheat, steal, and kill, and that those aren't necessarily really good virtues or traits that you want to bring back home. It's good for war, but it's bad here in the States. I mean, does being trained to lie, cheat, steal, and kill, Dad, does that do something to a person's mind? I mean, you saw it up close and in person. Does it kind of break these? Did you see some of your buddies kind of like mentally unwell, Dad?
Well, I never did understand anything like that. We were just at Green Berets, you're with a group, you're called a group, and there might, I can't remember how many of us, but you might have a colonel and a sergeant and a private, and they all work together. They didn't seem like one person was better than the other one. And I didn't understand anything like that. I mean, we were just doing what we just wanted to be the elite force for our country, but I never ever in my mind thought that, we were something like that. And then and for that guy there, I mean, it's a shame that they say that he was a Green Beret, but the guy had mental issues, and like I say, he'll come out by his wife and being, wife leaving him and all that. That's where the problem was, I think. And
I just wondered if, because Stephanie was thinking, PTSD, because right. A lot of what these guys see, they go over there. I mean, we've known them, you've known them, you've had buddies. They come back and they're not the same. A lot of them when they come back.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. I don't think it had anything to do with, he was, mad at the, the political, situation or anything like that. I think the guy who had some mental issues because of his divorce or whatever from his wife, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you go, what happens to you, Dad, when you go and try and buy a gun?
I'll never forget that when I went and bought wanted to buy a pistol over at Bass Pro several years ago. Well, you've been denied, and denied. I said, "Are you kidding me? I pay my taxes. I have a business and all that, and I know that's what it was." Then they called me up later and they said, "Okay, well, you've been approved now by the FBI." So I said, was it because I was a Green Beret? They wouldn't tell me one way or the other, but I suspected that might have had something to do with it.
Yeah, Brandon Meyer over the chat says he's glad that Trump is going to dial back the transgender push for the military. He was scared that we were going to have green berets.
Oh my goodness.
Well, and then, that really bothers a lot when, we were elite the Green Berets, and then I forgot what president it was, Carter or one of them, that, just, okay, well, all the Army can have Green Berets now, it's just, and it took,
Kind of took away some of the luster of it.
Yeah, it did. I mean, even though we have our symbol, of course, our symbol on our Green Berets, it's in our, it's still, that was ridiculous.
And then there's this guy out in New Orleans. He's former Army, wasn't Special Forces, but radicalized, decides to, fly an ISIS flag and drive it into a crowd in New Orleans. What's your take on that?
Oh, that guy was that. Well, I mean, I don't think you could stop somebody like that. I mean, that is really weird to me. I mean, here he's in America and he has everything that any, person, Middle Eastern person would never have, and to sit there and do something like that is just crazy to me. But I always tell people, you too, or everybody, when I started out as a reconnaissance, for tanks and all, and then I got out, and then I joined a Green Beret unit after that. So I kind of got to see the best of both worlds there, So.
Do you think the military brainwashes people?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I don't think so at all. At least I never ever noticed anything like that.
Yeah.
All right, Dad. Well, that's really all our questions that we had for you. We just sorry to wake you up.
Oh, you didn't wake me up. I just went in and made coffee, and and I came back and looked at my phone. I said, "Oh my gosh!"
Did you get our founding flavors delivery yet? Because I reordered it for you.
Well, it's in the coffee pot right now.
There we go.
There you go. I helped Papa Peterson get his subscription right for our Founding Flavors coffee. So if you want to subscribe,
thank you.
Just let me know, and I can help you guys.
Yes, Dad likes his subscription.
Yeah, it's delicious, and Justin got to take it to, I made him, while he was here, I made him coffee, that coffee also, and he really enjoyed it.
I'm so glad to hear that. Yes, the Peterson fam. It wouldn't be Freedom Family Friday if we didn't have on the Petersons, Dad. We're sorry we couldn't have Justin on today, and I was like, Dad's the perfect person to talk to. We're talking about the Green Berets, so appreciate it.
There you go, yeah. Justin, he's probably tired after, I took him to the airport yesterday, and then, actually, I took him early, because he got there like 2 hours early, which was a blessing because he said he got to be on a different flight, so he got to go to Baltimore instead of St. Louis and got to be home earlier than what he was going to be at home. So
that's nice. That's nice. Hopefully we'll have Justin back on next Friday. Love you, Dad. Happy New Year.
Yeah, love you.
Love
you. Tell my baby hi. Okay.
We will. Have a good one, Dad. Love you.
Love you.
There we go. Nice. Papa Peterson.
That was good. So he's really putting my conspiracy theories to rest here.
Quest Fanning says, thank you for your service, Papa Peterson, and he made a donation. Thank you very much, Quest.
Thank you, Quest.
Yes. Dad Bob Baboon says, missed the last 20 minutes. You missed a really good part. Talking to Papa Peterson, former Green Beret himself. So it's 8 o'clock. Let's take a quick little break. I'm going to go, we're going to switch topics. We're going to talk about boundaries. That need to be set in the new year.
Oh.
Boundaries we need to be setting with each other, okay?
Uh-oh.
All right, just stay back. Gotta go to the bathroom. Stop peeking.
You're making a boundary with everyone. You're saying, I need some space right now.
I need to go pee for Liberty. We'll be right back on the Wake Up America show on the For Liberty Network.
Are you tired of the strange radioactive effects of leftist culture? Do you ever wonder what happened to good old-fashioned American values? Well, fear no more, because there's a new force fighting back against the cultural rot of today. Introducing Culturama! a right-of-center talk show that's taking back the future today. Hosted by none other than blonde bombshell herself, Daniela Pensack. She's not just talking, she's taking culture back. With sharp takes, brilliant guests, and a few surprises along the way. Tune in to the live video podcast twice a week, because the future doesn't have to be weird. It can be Culturama!
If there wasn't going to be somebody who was a fiery champion of liberty, somebody who would get out there and who would be aggressive, and if they wouldn't do it with more fire or passion than I had, then I would go and I would fight this battle for us. I've fought for the principles that we all share. Parties tend to be secondary to me. We're here because we believe in the principles of liberty. I am not a perfect messenger, but I think I'm a damn good one. This is a replica of our first president's flintlock pistol. You have my full support, my respect, and my gun.
I think that at the heart of my philosophy is much more libertarianism than well, that's the fashionable word these days, I guess. A conservative is no longer just that. He's a libertarian and always has been.
Yet any time you and I question the schemes of the do-gooders, we're denounced as being against their humanitarian goals. They say we're always against things, we're never for anything.
What is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation.
Well, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves.
Conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.
Do you hate the deep state? Do you reject the Antichrist in all his ways? Do you believe that aliens controlled LBJ to assassinate John F. Kennedy? Did you know that the shot can put chemicals in you that will make you more sensitive to 5G? Do you love America? Do you want more freedom? Do you like smoking hot red-headed libertarians? Then the AP for Liberty shop is for you! Check out all the awesome new merch and have a happy new year! Fight the deep state, reject the Antichrist. Visit AP for Liberty shop and get your patriotic merchandise now, or the deep state wins.
Like I said last night, New Orleans is a city of tremendous spirit. You can't keep it down. You really can't. And we're seeing that today. The Sugar Bowl is back on. Kickoff is going to take off very shortly. If I don't get this damn thing done, we're going to be in real trouble. And the FBI has handed control of Bourbon Street back to local officials. Security of the area has been reinforced, and they should be open for business later today, the Bourbon Street. People in New Orleans are sending an unmistakable message. They will not let this attack or the attackers' deluded ideology overcome us. None of us should fear that he'll overcome us. We're going to continue to relentlessly pursue ISIS and other terrorist organizations where they are, and they'll find no safe harbor here. I'll continue to provide updates in New Orleans and Las Vegas.
What?
Oh my goodness.
Could you understand much of what he was saying there?
Oh, that was terrible, slurring his words. I thought his dementia was over after Kamala lost. I thought he was just like, I'm done with the dementia thing, guys.
Stephanie.
But it's back. Oh my gosh, that was terrible. He does not seem to be very sensitive to people's feelings about all these issues. It's like, that is terrifying that a car just drove into Bourbon Street, but he's like, we gotta get the sugar bowl on. Come on, get this damn thing over with. It's like, no, this is important. We need to talk about this.
14 people were killed.
Yeah, and he's like, let's get to the damn sugar bowl, whatever. Get this over with. It's like, he didn't care.
It was really weird.
Ooh. What is the sugar bowl? Is that like a football game? I'm assuming. Yeah. So there's a football game in New Orleans?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, I think that's awesome that the people of New Orleans are going to continue to party. I believe that. They love Mardi Gras. They're not going to let this get them down. Mm-hmm. But still, you've got to act like you feel bad when you're the president. You at least have to pretend.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be president anymore. So he's like, whatever, I'm going to be my true self. I have nothing to prove to anybody. That's what he's thinking.
Hi, it's Nancy. I'm on my way to Washington to proudly represent the people of San Francisco in Congress. I'm honored to do so, to share our San Francisco values. Thank you for giving me that honor. Hi.
She's not looking so good.
Oh, my God. She looks like a doll.
She looks like, it's that look. There's this look that they get, that politicians get. It's a politician's death look. We need a name for it. It's like Jimmy Carter before he died. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That look that they have where it's like, it's cadaver-like is the word.
They're starting to look very skeletal.
Cadaver-like, right?
In their face.
So Nancy Pelosi just underwent medical treatments. So she's coming back to Washington, D.C., and that's why she
probably had plastic surgery.
She's looking pretty rough.
I can see right there. She's got a lot of Botox in there.
She looks really rough.
She probably had a facelift.
She looks rough here. So, but I mean, she's old and she underwent these procedures, but it's like the average, I saw a chart the other day that showed like the average age of Congress just keeps going up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
They're delivering Alzheimer's medication to Capitol Hill. They have a congressional delivery office for pharmaceuticals for the Congress people.
Oh my God.
And they said that one of the more common medications that they get up there is...
I thought you were going to say Viagra. But, I mean, that too. I'm sure that too.
Viagra.
Yeah, they got to keep themselves busy there when they're stuck after hours. Like, what else do they do, right? They party.
Yes. Yep. For Matt Gaetz, it's whatever cures up the chlamydia.
Oh, does he have chlamydia?
I mean, the joke is because like that ethics report came out, and allegedly, for the love of God, Matt Gaetz peoples, it said that he was like, banging
children, right?
Well, not children.
Oh,
no, not children. Stephanie, stop it. They're very litigious.
Okay.
Sonny Hostin had to read a legal notice.
Sorry, I don't know anything. No.
Allegedly, a 17-year-old said the ethics report.
Well, that's a child.
Us. No, well, that's not a child.
That's a minor.
It's a minor, but a child is like, there's like, it's definitely wrong and a crime, but it's not. I don't really think a 17-year-old is like a child. It's a teenager.
Yeah.
Teenager. Right. Once you hit 13, I feel like you're no longer a child. Okay, but still wrong and a crime.
Right.
But, yes,
absolutely.
So, yeah, but Matt Gaetz didn't do it.
Right.
According to Matt Gaetz. Okay, I just want to be very careful about that because
he's still doing well. I saw him on social media. He's not letting this get him down.
No, it's not looking good for Matt Gaetz. You don't want to go from being the guy who was the attorney general pick to just an anchor on TV, right? I mean, while a lot of people would kill to have that kind of job, right? And it's not necessarily as bad an arc as many people. Matt Gaetz is not where Matt Gaetz wants to be right now.
Oh no.
And it's because of that ethics report.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure behind closed doors, he's very upset.
Yeah. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Especially if he is innocent, which I'm sure he is. But
yeah, Nancy Pelosi, I mean, is she taking a selfie there? Like, is she holding that camera, or do you think she has someone actually taping it for her?
Yeah.
I feel like she's not capable of actually being
she's got somebody,
tech savvy.
Yeah, she's got somebody holding that camera. There's no way. She'd be shaking all over the place. She'd rattle and roll.
Imagine if she's holding it. Hi, it's Nancy Pelosi. And then it would like drop in her lap. And she'd be like, oh, there it is. Sorry, guys. Is this thing on?
You want to talk about something fun or funny that's not
We're talking about boundaries,
politics?
you said? Something
We're
about
gonna get there, but yeah, before we do,
Okay.
though, honk if you understand this obscure bumper sticker. Let's play a little.
Why I was so sad to get rid of my Subaru is because I am a fan of bumper stickers. I'm mostly a fan of magnets because then I can take them off. Like I took off our baby on board magnet. But your AP for U.S. Senate sticker is forever going to be lost on my Subaru. I'm very sad.
Yeah,
your Wake Up America show sticker is forever going to be lost on my Subaru.
No, we'll get you another one, Stephanie. Come on.
Yeah. So I love bumper stickers.
Bumper stickers. It's all about obscurity these days. The coexist bumper stickers are out. The obscure bumper stickers are in. This is on my way to cry near a lighthouse. I have no idea what that means.
Why would you cry near a lighthouse?
I don't know. Anxious drivers. I do.
Oh, I like that.
There you go.
That's a good warning. Or they should have people who are angry drivers who have road rage. You should just be like road rage alert so that people know to stay away from that person. Kind of like when you walk your dog and some dogs have leashes that say that they're not friendly.
You can spot them in the parking lot of a grocery store. They catch your eye at a red light or while stuck in traffic. You squint to read, what do they mean by former baby on board? Or keep honking, I'm eating your girl's pasta fagioli.
Oh my God. What? Oh my goodness.
Gone are the days of the earnest coexist or free Tibet bumper stickers. Nowadays, they are dipped in irony with a healthy dose of absurdity. The new crop are part of a growing trend of merch being made as much to be photographed and shared on social media as they are to be absorbed in the real world. And the buy-in is broad, ranging from boutique media empire Dirt to the fashion brand J. Crew. You may find them at your favorite bar or in a wedding gift bag. We're known as the bumper sticker couple now, I'm sure, said Brian Gebhardt with his fiancée Alyssa Walker runs Frog Mustard, one of the most prolific creators of this genre of bumper stickers. They release a handful of new ones each week to their more than 35,000 Instagram followers, whom they call the Frog Army. They started this company last winter after Gebhardt had a biking accident. He needed a little extra money. So they came up with Frog Mustard by using a random name generator.
Gosh,
Brad, go to...
Viral people.
Brad.
I don't understand how they get so popular.
Brad, go to ChatGPT and ask it for 10 absurd bumper sticker names that have the potential to go viral on social media. There you go. Done.
Maybe that's what we need to do to like all of the names of everything. Wake Up America show. Let's just randomly generate a title for the show.
Yes, there you go. By their first designs included a sticker that read "ET for City Council," and another with a crying kitten and an appeal to drivers. Sorry for speeding, but my cat is home alone.
Aww. Yeah, that is cute. I don't have the absurd ones. My bumper stickers represent me as a person. I like them to show my interests, what I support. I like them to be advertisements. So if you ever want to advertise anything, just reach out to me and I will put a sticker on my car if I support that company or endeavor.
We need to get one for our shop.
Yes.
As of late, these include popular stickers of the 1,200 orders a month they get, by the way. These include popular stickers like "On my way to get a lobotomy" and "I'm pro-sexualizing the green M&M and I vote," and "Deny, defend, depose," a reference to the killing of the United Healthcare chief executive. The couple describe their ouvre as brain rot stickers, which is pretty true, yes. Brain rot. Ouvre, you know what ouvre means in French? Ouvre?
Ouvre. Oh, ouvre. Oh my gosh. D'oeuvre is an egg.
Oeuvre.
Oeuvre is an egg.
Oeuvre is their body of work.
Oh.
Yes. Oeuvre.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Brandon Meyer says, I used to work at a printing company and the boss said we're in a prank war. So he made a bumper sticker that said noodle puller and put it on my truck.
Wow. That would actually probably be really popular.
Noodle puller.
Yeah.
And then you have like an Italian guy pulling noodles out of like making noodles and it says noodle puller.
Yeah.
It's actually a really good idea. Thanks, Brandon. We're going to steal it.
You know how people, like bullies, would put signs on people's backs? People should do that on cars. There should be bullies that go around and just put things on people's cars.
Yes.
But then they'd get arrested.
Yes, there we go.
That would not be good. Don't do that.
I'm gonna send Brad this article in Slack and have him pump in like some say take inspiration from this article and give us 10 ridiculous meme bumper sticker ideas. There we go. Brad, look for a Slack.
You know why people used to critique you while you were running for office? They said
Every
that all your
single freaking
slogans
thing
are bumper sticker slogans.
I
But you
know.
know what? Those work.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Because people are stupid.
Oh, no, it's just we like short and concise things, such as the nap, right?
Oh,
we
here it
like
is.
something that's very
Brad's-
short and
Brad's
in a little
live.
package.
Brad's live.
Oh,
Brad's live. Here it is. So here's what Brad came up with.
Oh,
His 10
goodness.
bumper sticker ideas. He's already on top of it. Brad, good for you, bud.
Brad is the best employee ever. He's so great.
Don't say that. He'll ask for a raise. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Oh, shoot. Where's Slack? There it is. Okay, so here's what Brad had pulled up for us today for our bumper stickers. Honk if you've made poor choices. Not
There
bad.
you go.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
My other car is alone.
Aww.
Ask me about my duck army.
Oh.
Warning, driver singing off key.
That's, yeah.
Powered by caffeine and regret.
Good.
I break for conspiracy theories.
Nice.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. All right, Brad's on it. And lost, so am I. Follow me. Not bad.
Oh, boy.
Proud parent.
What if a stalker really did follow you? That'd be
I don't
creepy.
know. Proud parent of a misbehaving GPS.
Yeah.
Vote for me. Free tacos.
Oh my
and
gosh.
This car runs on spite. I like it.
Yes. I do like that. You know, while I'm driving, I do notice other people's license plates and bumper stickers.
Yes.
And I get meaning from them. Before we had Hazel, I remember we saw a license plate like the day before Hazel was born, and the license plate said Rose on it. And Rose was my grandmother's name, your grandmother's name, Hazel's middle name.
Mm-hmm.
And in that moment, I felt this really weird spiritual connection. And I was like, wow, you know, that's our grandmother saying hello to us. And then Hazel was born right after that. So I really like bumper stickers and different, when you get a license plate with a special, you know, name on it or word on it. I like that stuff. So please keep doing it if you're one of those people.
Let's see. I break for interesting looking clouds. Hold on. These are real that exist right now. I'd rather be slowly consumed by moss.
What?
I don't know. And I support my local bookshop. That's another one, right? So this is
Okay.
this is the new. I love aging and dying.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we're all aging and dying technically,
Yes.
but do we love it? No.
Have a nice dystopia.
Ha.
And I hope you find what you're looking for. And honk if you're a lover, I guess. I don't know. So they're kind of looking for love.
Nelson told us about one today where it says honk if you love Jesus. And this woman, she was like, I was thinking about Jesus at the stoplight and all these people started honking at me. And I was like, wow, they love Jesus. And then really the light had turned green and people were honking at her because she wasn't going. So Nelson told us that earlier today.
Okay, so there we go. So I guess we've got something for Brad to do today. There we go.
Will any of you actually buy these bumper stickers if we make really random ones?
We'll just have to like hope that they buy some and that we can try and like go viral on like the socials with them, so we can try and do like our bumper sticker collection. We've been needing to up the number of bumper stickers we do for a long time anyway. So, all right, it's 8:22. I don't think we're gonna make the bonus baby today, which is okay. She needs to sleep.
Yeah.
So they don't want to see
guess
they don't
so.
want to see the baby.
It's okay.
That's
yeah.
okay. They don't have to. It's all right.
Oh, and we want to thank Liz. Liz, thank
Yeah.
you for your donation to the baby's account. So actually what we did was we opened up a custodial account, and Austin is going to put the money into investments. So we are going to add that money to her custodial account. So thank you very much, Liz. Because we want our baby to be successful and be able to pay for college or pay to start a business or whatever she wants to do in her future.
Oh, maybe we spoke a little bit too soon. Somebody just went to forlibertyshop.com.
Did they buy bumper stickers?
No, but they unlocked the bonus content for sure.
Whoa.
Live Free or Die tea and Less Government, More Beer Stein mug.
I made that.
Yes.
I like to take credit for the things I make.
And the Less Government, More Beer Stein mug, the main image of it shows an empty side of the Stein. Brad, do me a favor.
No, it's not empty.
Are you sure? No, it says, see it? No. It's just the picture there, see?
Oh, I'll fix that. But
Yeah.
it's really legit.
Yeah, it says
It's
Less
actually
Government,
got
More
something
beer.
in there, yeah.
So, but the feature photo
Right.
doesn't show Less Government, More Beer.
Yeah.
So, Brad Beckman, do me a favor, man. Go to the Less Government, More Beer Stein mug and change the first picture so that it shows the side that says Less Government, More Beer. Thank you, Brad. Isn't that nice? Look at us.
Yeah, we haven't sold those ones in a bit.
Yeah.
See, you all always
Scott Fry
surprise
has
me
one,
because
yes.
we like to advertise certain things and then we're like, oh, we got an order. And we're like, oh, did we just sell the thing that we advertised? And usually it's something completely different that we have like never talked about ever. So you guys are really looking deeply into our website.
Which we appreciate. Yeah, Brad
Yes.
Brad showed the website to like a family member or something over the
Really?
holidays. Yeah, and he's like, oh my God, this website has so much great stuff.
Yeah.
Right? We just have to like get it in front of people. You know,
Yeah.
it's a challenge though. It requires, you know, you got to spend a lot of money on advertising and we need to go read that book we've been talking about that's on my
Guerrilla
shelf.
marketing.
We need to go read Guerrilla Marketing, which
Yeah.
I haven't read for like 10, 15 years. So I need to go reread
You
it.
know how musicians try to get discovered? I always used to see them at the Warped Tour. They'd be handing out their CDs. So it's like maybe we need to go to concerts or some sort of events and just be like, here, check out our store.
Nelson's
Check out our
asking
store.
who won the jacket. We haven't given away the jacket just yet.
I don't know. I think he wants to win it.
So anybody
Well,
who's-
Nelson has a Doge agent jacket.
He's got the blue field agent jacket.
Yeah, he's got one.
The jacket that we're giving away today is the bomber style.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got the bomber style Doge field agent jacket. There it is, Doge field agent. You can become a Doge field agent today if you are a monthly subscriber to the Wake Up America show. And you can do that several different ways. You can be a subscriber either at wakeupAmericaShow.com/support, or you guys can be a monthly sub here on Rumble, Twitter, anywhere that you can monthly sub, Locals, for example. So we will give that away in about 15 or 20 minutes. Sound good?
That sounds good to me. I'm officially demonetized on purpose from X.
Why?
Because they were about to charge me another $100-something.
For like a year's
Yeah,
subscription.
and I said, you know what? I need to save some money here. And the thing is, I wasn't making enough money. I was breaking even. Last year, I did break even because I had that big post about the Warped Tour and Green Day. But it's like, usually I don't have a lot of impressions. And so I don't even make enough money to pay for the subscription.
Right.
So now I've lost my check mark. And so hopefully people will still talk to me.
We'll see what happens. If you want to boost your well-being in 2025, skip the New Year's resolutions and set some boundaries instead.
I preach boundaries all the time, but it's hard to keep them.
That means being clear about your wants, needs, and deal breakers, and in the process, improving every aspect of your life. So what are the types of boundaries, Stephanie? You must know some types of boundaries.
Yeah, so boundaries are limits or rules that you place in your relationship. So a boundary can really be anything. It can be like your space around you. Like when I used to teach boundaries to kids, I would have them put a hula hoop around them. A boundary could be a time boundary. You don't let somebody have too much of your time. It can be anything, just what you'll talk about, what you won't talk about. Like if you ask me a question and I'm like, I don't want to talk about that. No, that's a boundary. So a boundary can be pretty much in anywhere in your life.
So it can be like a physical boundary, right? Protecting your
like if
personal
you get
space.
too close to me, like the European people, they get way too close to my face. And so I'm like, I need a boundary. They're too close, so I back away.
Yes.
So that's my boundary.
Americans, we tend to like to have a good little healthy amount of personal space, right? But then there are also different boundaries. There's mental boundaries, right? Ones that we sort of say, hey, I'm not going to allow you to control me or something, if you will, right? Or make me feel
you can have boundaries in your head too. You can say, I don't want to think about this certain thought. And you can actually make a boundary with your own mind. And you can just be like, I'm going to go meditate now. And I'm going to send this thought away. I'm not going to let it affect me. So yeah, you're right. It can actually happen within you as well.
So you can set external boundaries, which means defining for yourself what is and isn't okay.
Yeah.
And act accordingly. That makes boundaries different from a request. If, for example, I had a family member with different political views and I asked them to stop bringing up a certain candidate, that's a direct request, she says. Whereas a boundary is, I'm not comfortable with this conversation continuing. I'm no longer going to speak to you about this.
Yeah.
Boundaries aren't about controlling other people, she adds. They're about taking action to protect your mental health. Think of boundaries as your own personal rules of engagement for how others will interact with you. If you don't set any, you'll likely become stressed and burned out. And as resentment simmers, your relationships might become strained. With boundaries in place, on the other hand, your confidence and self-esteem will leap upwards. You'll have a greater sense of control, and you'll feel both physically and emotionally safe. That's actually a good thing. It is important. It's important.
I always say the best way to deal with a manipulative, narcissistic person is to set boundaries with them. They hate boundaries so much. And the thing is, they can't do anything about it. And the hard part about setting boundaries, I always tell people, is that at first, people are not going to like them and they're going to be mad at you about your boundaries. But if you stand your ground and lean into that discomfort and know that what you're doing is okay, those people are going to respect you and they're going to stop stepping all over you. Because a manipulative person, they can only manipulate you if you allow them to. That's the thing. I know, easier said than done. I still get tripped up by manipulative people, but it's a work in progress.
Yes. If you're just tuning into the Wake Up America show, good morning, guys. Freedom Family Friday means that my beautiful wife, Stephanie Peterson, is on the show. And that baby Hazel, since we unlocked the bonus content, thanks, Andy, for hitting us up over the top.
So like $100. We hit $100.
We've gone over $100 today because Andy went and bought a Stein and a T-shirt over at forlibertyshop.com.
Talking about angels, right?
Yeah,
I
Andy's
learned
an
that
angel.
Angels have horns at the church that we went to.
No, that was Nelson.
Oh no, we actually learned at the Methodist church.
Oh, you're me. Oh, yeah. The biblical angels. Yeah, the biblical.
So now whenever I picture an angel, I picture them with like horns and lots of eyes. I don't picture the nice halo.
Well, do you want to
anymore.
see what the biblical angels were actually supposed to look like? You want to see that? I'll show you. Hold on.
And then we'll go back to talking about boundaries.
Yeah, let's see if I can find just like a quick YouTube video. Biblical angels. This, not this. Let's see. Yeah, hold on. Maybe there's like a... Yeah, here we go. Biblically accurate angels. Yeah, so this is like... See these? This is kind of like what the angels... They're using AI to make this. But these are kind of like... Look at that. See the human face up there? And then see like all the eyes?
Oh, that's so creepy.
Right. Oh, yeah, for sure. It was... See the rotating, the spinning, the outtake. Like the Bible like describes them in great detail in certain places, and it's like this is what the Bible describes. Like this is what you would see. That's an angel, right? Like so that was the lesson of the Christmas was that when the angels visited the shepherds to tell them that Jesus was born, so that they could go visit him in the manger, they said, "Do not be afraid." And most people were like, oh, well, since we're thinking of cute little babies, angels coming up and like flying like, oh, hello. They're like, don't be afraid and all that kind of stuff. You'd be like, oh, well, how could I be afraid of all this? It's like, no, it's because they were seeing like this, right? They were seeing like this reverend times thing. That's what they were seeing. And that's biblical angels, quite frightening.
And actually Satan looked beautiful.
So that's at least what my mother was. That's what my mother taught us growing up, was that Satan was God's highest and best angel. And so when God created man in his own image, it put Satan at a lower level, lower status. And so Satan was jealous of humans and rebelled against God. And because he rebelled against God, he was cast out of heaven and became misshapen and became like, this concept that we think of him today, which is like,
he's got horns and he's red,
pointy
and the tail.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
So there's a lot of different myths and legends about it. So
well, sorry about that tangent, guys.
Yeah. Anyways,
we'll go back.
It's Freedom Family Friday. We can talk about whatever we want. So
yes, boundaries.
Boundaries.
So which boundaries?
My boundaries
should we
is that we're not going to talk about biblically accurate angels anymore.
Yes, we're not going to talk about religion on the show ever again. That's a boundary.
It is. There you go. So workload creep.
Workload creep?
We have to do this sometimes, but it's not like we're not very good at it. But
no.
we really could stand to use some boundaries when it comes to work. But the truth is we know that without a unbelievable effort, then we can't succeed and we can't take care of our child and we can't do the things that we want to do. Go to Colorado next month. We're going to call John Rail. Have him game our point system.
Can you bless us with something?
Can you bless us with something, John Rail? How should we use?
Oh, gosh.
Money-wise.
No, we just need John Rail to help us figure out our points, use our points to the maximum so that we can go away for a few days next month.
Yes.
Workload creep. We work too much, and
do.
how does anybody sort of set boundaries with work? That's a tough one.
I guess we could make working hours. A lot of companies say that our customer service is only open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. So we technically could do that. Maybe eventually we could morph into that. But for now, it's people want an instant response because we have that little chat feature on our website. And when they talk to us, we have to respond to them.
That's not turned on.
Oh, it's not?
Nope. I've set a boundary.
Oh, you did? Yeah. Okay, I didn't know it's gone.
Yeah, nope. Now, we have a phone number.
Oh, yeah.
And we have a text message line.
Yeah.
Right? And if you text us, I do get that right away.
Okay.
Right? So we do get alerts when people contact the website. Right? But we don't have it's not the instant chat.
Yeah.
Right? Which we could probably stand to use. We could probably stand, what we should do is Brad's going to be I'm going to set a boundary. But we could just turn it on Monday through Fridays, 7.
When Brad's working.
Normal business hours have the chat function open.
Yeah, because the chat is not always open on most websites.
Yes,
it has to be certain hours.
Right, but it might actually help us get more sales if there is the chat. So we'll look into it today. Brad, put that down on the list of things to talk about. Reserve sacred. Oh, this is a good one, man. And do I ever need it? Tech-free time. Go ahead, Steph.
Yeah, you have your cell phone in a lot of places.
Everywhere at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I would say so.
Well, because when Brad's not in, who's doing fulfillment, right? Who's checking to make sure orders?
I really think back in the day when we didn't have cell phones, it was probably way easier to detach from work because you couldn't check your emails, you couldn't make phone calls. When you're away, and you get to be present with your family. So I really think technology has kind of screwed us up with the work thing.
Back in the days of rotary phones, if your boss really needed something, then he could lift up the phone and he would have to dial the digits and go Did you ever have a rotary phone growing up at all?
No, just a play toy one.
Oh, okay. Oh, we had rotary phones. And I'm pretty sure that we had the rotary phones that had a spark inside them. So sometimes they would if you had a gas leak.
Goodness.
Yeah, if you had a gas leak, your home could explode because of them. Yeah.
Why did it need a spark?
Yes. I don't know. I don't know how to win this. My dad used to work at
the phone company. We got to get him on the phone again. Dad, why did it have a spark?
Dad's good for Green Beret knowledge and the old telecom business knowledge.
Yeah.
There you go. Here's something I can't do, but maybe you can, but maybe you shouldn't do it because it's against my best financial interests. Treat the news like a snack.
Yeah, I think I'm very out of touch during the week when I'm not on the show. Usually I'll say to you, what's going on in the world? Because I really don't leave the house much anymore, especially with Hazel. So, I don't really let the news get to me. People always ask me, how do you not let chaos get to you? Because when I used to work at the hospital, I used to see a lot of tragedies happen and it didn't bother me. And I am able to see it like a movie. And maybe that's not good, that I see these things as not real.
Yeah, so this is about doom scrolling. You know what doom scrolling is?
Oh yeah, where people are just constantly vegetating on their couch.
Yeah, they're rotting, bed rotting, right?
Yeah, and it's so negative, and all they see is just hatred, and it just really gets them down.
So they're saying set boundaries in that way. Banish tech from the bedroom. No.
Well, we like to watch videos together, like reels. We watch them at night together in the bedroom.
Yeah, we've got a big screen TV down the bottom of our bed.
Yeah.
We like to watch, scuba videos with Hazel.
Hazel likes to watch scuba videos. Yes.
Yes. So banish.
I know that all the sleep experts are like, the light that's emitted from your tech devices is so bad for sleep, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Tech actually helps me get to sleep. Like when I can't sleep in the middle of the night, I literally do go on my phone. I check Twitter, I check things, and that helps relax me. But I guess I'm just not impacted by it like other people are. I don't get mean DMs telling me that I'm horrible.
This is a good one, but it's really hard to set this kind of a boundary. It's expect equal conversation effort. So Heather Stevenson, clinical psychologist in New York City, puts a lot of work into ensuring relationships thrive.
So she makes sure conversations don't falter. So she helps other people open up. That's often at an expense of sharing much about herself. It comes at a cost to me and ends up really draining me. I want relationships to be reciprocal and mutual. Yeah, so doesn't that mean like when you're talking to an extreme introvert and you're making all the conversation and they're not making any, that they should be talking more? I guess, is that what it's saying?
I mean,
or when you're the one always reaching out to somebody and they're not reaching out to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not the best at that, especially with my sister. She always wants to talk on the phone, and I'm not really a phone talking type of person very often. So I like to text.
Yeah, I like to text too, but the next point on this one is called trade FaceTime for FaceTime.
Well, how do you do that when you live so far away from people? I guess that means you just have to prioritize traveling and being with people in person, which, yes, we all have excuses. I think we need to stop making excuses for why we can't see each other.
I do too. I hate this, man. It's like when you become an adult, people are just like, they just tune out. And I get it. You got your own
They're like,
lives.
hey, man, I've got a family, man. I can't make it. And it's just like, okay, why does that mean you can't do anything?
Bring your family. Like I was so glad to see Mike and Ryan, the Estises and the Mosleys the other day on New Year's Eve and stuff like that. And it's just kind of like, it's healthy, right? It used to be in suburban neighborhoods that the people would know their neighbors and they would all gather together. They would have like dinners and things like that together and family nights. And I know I'm talking about like the 50s and 60s here. Right. And we've gone from a high trust society.
There are still neighbors that are friends in suburbia.
I saw something in 2025 because they were talking about the terror attacks. It's like, because we need to know how to protect one another and like have better communities. How about a New Year's resolution in 2025 where like maybe you break some boundaries and say hello to your neighbors? How about we actually talk to our neighbors?
There's such a thing as having too rigid of boundaries. So it's okay to have less boundaries to open yourself up. Yeah, you can either have too many boundaries or not enough boundaries, or you can be right in the middle and have just enough that you need. So yeah, it could go all ways. But there are some people that I like to keep on FaceTime, to be quite honest, because distance sometimes makes the heart grow fonder in certain relationships. And that's a boundary to set too. So I would say trade FaceTime for FaceTime in the relationships that are actually benefiting you.
I just like, I get a little antsy sometimes because I'm kind of a social creature, a social butterfly.
That's why I don't know why you're living here in Jefferson City. Like, I'd be willing to go move somewhere where you can be social.
The problem is, there's a lot of problems with that. It's all trade-offs. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I want to live on the farm and be away from people, but be close enough to be able to get to an airport so we can go hang out with friends and do things. Like, because, for example, when we went to Washington, D.C. last time, and we got to see like my best friends. That was like, I felt like Link in The Legend of Zelda, where he gets a heart container and then all of his hearts fill up. It's just like I've got full heart containers. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, refresh, energize. Cause it's like, And I was bitching about this the other night, and I know nobody gives a shit, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Like, I'm just tired of not being able to really talk about actual things with people rather than small talk. I hate small talk. I hate it so much. How are you? Do you care?
Right.
You don't care. I do. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about something a little wild here today. Like, let's talk, like, I don't know. Are you reading a book, right? Like, have you? It's okay if you haven't. Like, I don't know. I just can't, I just get so bored, man. I get so bored.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, I understand the trade-offs. You live in a city, like, you get culture. It's more cosmopolitan. But it's like, I've been spoiled because, like, I used to go to like lectures, and I could when you're in a high enough populated area, you can just go to places where people are doing like book clubs.
Oh, I used to go to meetup groups.
They just don't exist around here. But the problem is that we're living in the capital city, so if you want these conversations, you got to have them with like lawmakers and politicians, and that is just
Hazel's awake.
Tough. It's tough.
Hazel woke up
It's
early.
tough.
What time is it?
You know what she's saying? She's saying it's time to get up.
Oh my goodness.
She's talking.
Good morning.
Do you want to get her?
Pineapple.
Do you want to go get her? Let's do
Okay.
it. Good morning, Pineapple. She's here.
Oh yeah, we got to keep talking about the boundaries.
Looking very good, very nice.
Show's almost
Good
over.
morning, pineapple. Looking very good, very nice. Good morning, pineapple. Looking very good, very nice. Good morning, pineapple. Looking very good, very nice.
If you guys are watching the Wake Up America show and you haven't clicked the like button, why do you hate me? Is it because I don't like small talk? I'd love to have you be a regular guest. Click the follow button as well. There she is. It's the bonus baby.
It's Hazel Rose.
Hazel Rose here with
Hazel is Irish.
Hazel
Her
Rose
voice
here.
has morphed into an Irish voice.
Hey, can you show that little hair, the wild hair that has been discovered on the side of her head now? Like, let's see, let's put her up.
She's got a bald spot in the back.
She's got a bald spot in the back, but then she's got this one flyaway hair on the side of her head. Hold on, let's see if you can see it there. No, it's covered by your hair. We can't tell what's your hair. Look at that. There it is. Can you see it? It's like, oh man, hold on. There we go. All right, hold it up. There it is. Ah, look at that. Hold it with it. Yeah, see that head? It's on the right side of her head. That's the left if you're looking at it. There it is. It's like her dad's hair. My hair does that. Hold on, let's see. You can see my hair like flying around everywhere. I got the worst hat hair ever. It's like poking. I'll get I have like the cowlick. It like sticks up in the back. Hold on, let's see if I can get it to do it. No, it's not going to do it today. Baby Hazel, there
we're waiting
she
to
is.
see if she has curls
Not
or
gonna
straight
happen.
hair.
I don't think so.
We will see.
Good morning, Pineapple.
Hey, Case, what's going on?
We got another review today for you. We're going to do a react video. Yes, we're reacting to the Las Vegas shooter. Yes.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, Hazel's been getting a little hate online lately. That's not cool.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
hate on baby Hazel, guys.
It's going to happen. Like, that's kind of the danger of having her out there and stuff like that. Like, to live a life in public is that, you're just, unfortunately, your family gets targeted. Imagine what it'd be like if I ran for office. People would be like, that's why, like, if I were to run for office again, which I probably won't, then it's like, we'd have to have a discussion because they, if they come after us now, and like, imagine like when you're like that kind of a threat to people's livelihood.
Oh yeah.
So sad, but that's just the reality of the world that we live in. People hate you just for like where you're born and who you are. It has nothing to do with any decision that you've made. You've done literally nothing to them, but they just hate you for what you are.
Right.
So.
Oh yeah, you have more power than them. You have more popularity than them.
She is enamored with her papa, says Cecilia. She does love her dad a lot.
Yeah, I love my dad. I love Founding Flavors coffee.
Yeah, right. It's 8:47 a.m. Central Time, which means we've got about 4 or 5 minutes left on the Wake Up America show. Thanks so much for participating, guys, for unlocking the bonus baby content. And we love your feedback on the show. You can send us a text at 573-319-1586. Look, it's Liz says, straight red hair, it would be curly already. That's what I think. There would have been some curls. Because Jody Brooke, when she was a baby, she had curly hair as a baby.
Oh yeah, so did I. I had an afro.
Straight. Who has straight red hair? I thought that all like redheads were naturally
I straightened
curly.
mine.
Yeah, you've got curly hair though, naturally.
Yes.
Right. So what? So who has straight red hair that you could think of?
Lindsay Lohan?
Does she? I always thought that they curled it. What is straight red hair?
I guess we'll have to see what it
I'll have
looks
to
like.
See, yeah, because I've never seen straight red hair. Every redhead I've ever known, straight red hair. Let's see if there's anybody.
What's
we know.
better, straight
No.
hair or curly hair?
Probably curly because you can always straighten it.
Right. Like there's a lot of people who cannot curl their hair. Like Asian people, I know a lot of times their hair just cannot be curled. It will not keep a curl.
Mine can't curl.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm starting to see some. They say natural straight hair, but I don't know if they actually are natural straight hair because everybody who has curly hair, Amy Adams, maybe her hair is very straight there, but she could have
it's
curly.
hard to tell. Women lie about everything. I mean, with all of the tools that we have nowadays, you can get straight perms. People get straight hair perms, so you can pretend your hair is straight. You can also get curly hair perms, so you can pretend your hair is curly. So it's you can't figure out women anymore. We cover everything up.
Why do they call them perms when they're not permanent and they go out over time?
I don't know. I've never gotten a perm ever in my life. I just know they smell really bad. My mom used to get perms, and she would make her hair really full with the perm. I don't know what kind of product they use in there or what, but it damages your hair, at least from what I know. It's a lot of chemicals.
So we started a custodial fund for Hazel Rose. Look, it's Liz donated. We're going to take your $10. We're going to put it right in that custodial fund today. Liz, I'll go make a donation to the college fund in your honor.
Thanks,
Thank you
Liz.
for that. We appreciate you very much.
Can you bless me with something?
Oh, gosh.
Money-wise. Please.
Can you suck it?
What?
Head on over to 4libertyshop.com. That's the number 4libertyshop.com. Thanks for everything that you guys have done for us, for our family. We've built a podcasting business. We have 2 other shows. It's a whole network now. We have an incredible website, 4libertyshop.com. You guys have been unlocking bonus content, making purchases at the shop. In 2024, we doubled the amount of business that we did at 4libertyshop.com from the previous year. This year, we want to double it again. And I think we will. We built some strategic partnerships. We're going to try and find some more, build more clients. We're going to build out.
I'm going to start exploring makeup. Selling makeup.
We're going to explore that as well. All kinds of fun stuff. So make sure that you keep yourselves tuned in every Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. Central on the Wake Up America show's live stream at rumble.com/AP4Liberty. And as you exit through the gift shop. Thanks for everything that you guys do for us. We're very grateful. We'll see you guys on Monday. Get some rest. Next week, it's back to work. 80 hours, I expect, from everybody next week. Have a good one.
Bye. Be free.
Thanks.
Oh, Hazel Rose here. Let me see here.
Oh, here.
Hey guys, I'm gonna keep going. Keep dancing, keep doing my jig.
Wait, don't go. We forgot.
Wait!
Don't go, guys. We've got a gift. to give away. Seth, thank you guys. Thank you, Nelson, for the reminder. Whew, Nelson.
Our minds are just somewhere else nowadays. My memory is terrible.
Thank you. We've got the winner already. The name of the winner is Heartland Oki.
Yay, Heartland. We need their address, right?
Yep, Heartland Oki. We'd love to hear from you. Send us a text, 573-319-1586. Let us know your name, your address, your phone number. We'll get you all set up, and we'll send you your free Department of Government Efficiency bomber jacket. So send us a text again, 573-319-1586. Again, 573-319-1586. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
Are you tired of the strange radioactive effects of leftist culture? Do you ever wonder what happened to good old-fashioned American values? Well, fear no more, because there's a new force fighting back against the cultural rot of today. Introducing Culturama, a right-of-center talk show that's taking back the future today. Hosted by none other than blonde bombshell herself, Daniela Pensack. She's not just talking, she's taking culture back. With sharp takes, brilliant guests, and a few surprises along the way. Tune in to the live video podcast twice a week, because the future doesn't have to be weird. It can be Culturama.
If there wasn't going to be somebody who was a fiery champion of liberty, somebody who would get out there and who would be aggressive, and if they wouldn't do it with more fire or passion than I had, then I would go and I would fight this battle for us. I've fought for the principles that we all share. Parties tend to be secondary to me. We're here because we believe in the principles of liberty. I am not a perfect messenger, but I think I'm a damn good one. This is a replica of our first president's flintlock pistol. You have my full support, my respect, and my gun.
I think that the heart of my philosophy is much more libertarianism than well, that's the fashionable word these days, I guess. A conservative is no longer just that. He's a libertarian and always has been.
Yet any time you and I question the schemes of the do-gooders, we're denounced as being against their humanitarian goals. They say we're always against things, we're never for anything.
What is fascism? Fascism is private ownership, private enterprise, but total government control and regulation.
Well, the trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant. It's just that they know so much that isn't so. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth. This is the issue of this election. Whether we believe in our capacity for self-government or whether we abandon the American Revolution and confess that a little intellectual elite in a far distant capital can plan our lives for us better than we can plan them ourselves.
The conservative, so-called, is the one that says less government, get off my back, get out of my pocket, and let me have more control of my own destiny.
Do you hate the deep state? Do you reject the Antichrist in all his ways? Do you believe that aliens controlled LBJ to assassinate John F. Kennedy? Did you know that the shot can put chemicals in you that will make you more sensitive to 5G? Do you love America? Do you want more freedom? Do you like smoking hot red-headed libertarians? Then the AP for Liberty shop is for you! Check out all the awesome new merch and have a happy new year! Fight the deep state! Reject the Antichrist! Visit AP for Liberty shop and get your patriotic merchandise now, or the deep state wins!